Siemens horse. Hello guys, it's the Moron Skeks, and in today's video I'll talk about the pros and cons about Suzuki Vitara 2018 1.4 liter booster jet with Allgrip system. This is our family car, and it's currently 26,000 kilometers already. We have changed the oil once. It's every 15,000 kilometers changing the oil. It's Geo Plus model, and it costs when new around 22,000 euro in this two color option with red and black. Okay, I'll start with the visual pros and cons. First of all, you all agree, sorry about car being dirty, but I've been driving a little bit off-road these days. So about the exterior, it looks pretty nice from the front because it has something from Range Rover. It actually reminds me of Range Rover Evoque. You agree with me that there is something interesting in the front. It has some good design. In the back it's a little bit more old-fashioned, but overall it's still a nice design. About the quality of the parts, of course, it's a low-level car, it's cheap car, everything is really soft, it's really white made, it's plastic everywhere. But however, they do it like this nowadays in order to have better price. So pretty modern, has LED lights, day lights as a standard. If you buy the next level above Geo Plus, you can get some LED headlights too, but I don't need it. Actually, Geo Plus is the right place where I think the price can be still reasonable enough, with the extras being reasonable enough. Because you can buy on the last stage, you can buy panoramic roof with the last package, but I don't actually need it, and I don't need my car to be around 26,000 euro for just being a panoramic roof, some electrical side mirrors folding, some little things that actually will not change my experience so much that it's actually needed for me to pay more for them. Okay, enough about the exterior. You saw it. Nice back, it's really nice SUV. It has 18 millimeters of ground clearance, so it's pretty good. You can see. Another thing is that this car has plastic cover underneath the engine, which I really appreciate, because I was really excited to see my friend buying an Opel Astra and it doesn't have a plastic cover underneath the engine, and that's a full absurd. They actually really want to sell it on a profit, to sell it cheap, that they even don't put it a plastic cover under the engine. That's a new car, you cannot afford. I don't buy older cars without a plastic. What to talk about a brand new car from the shop? We will not discuss it anymore. So this is Suzuki Vitara. Okay, the ground clearance could be a little bit more. For example, Duster has more ground clearance, maybe around 20 centimeters, but still a good ground clearance for most of the off-roads. It also has good angle for going uphill, steep uphills. The brakes, I'll tell you something about the brakes. These 17-inch wheels are standard in Geo Plus. This is currently a winter tire, and the car, we have bought it with summer tires, Continental, which are really good tires, even though they are not the best model from the Continental diversity. Let's see it inside too. Okay, first thing, when you open the door, you notice it how light actually it feels. It's really light. Yeah, it feels actually a little bit cheaper, and it actually is not what you are expecting from a brand new car, but however, you can live with that. Other things I didn't like is the quality of this. This is a hard plastic and it's really cheap. Really cheap actually. Here nothing too fancy, nothing too interesting. This one is really old school. Actually the plastic on the door isn't something that will make you say wow. Okay, we have here controlling on the 4 windows electric lock, and we have electric controllable but not foldable in GL Plus side mirrors. What else do we have here? We have a traction control off. I really like the cars that have traction control off. Modern cars suffer from that button often. It has a start-stop system which can be turned off completely from here. It has lane assist. That's all included in GL Plus. We also have, because it's a 4x4 Allgrip system, we have a downhill assistant, collision assistant. Also we have a lot of cruising modes. We have adaptive cruise. We can set the car in front and it can keep the distance with the brakes and accelerates when the car in front actually accelerates too. Here the lane assistance. The steering wheel vibrates when you leave the lanes. Actually it's actually trying to turn the wheel when you're going to sleep or you're looking somewhere else or at some chicks outside of the road, and it really tries to tell you, please don't look at these chicks, concentrate on the driving. I've even tried not holding the wheel, and after some second it says me, please hold the wheel. So pretty nice options for a low level car. We have a lot of extras included in GL Plus, and that's the second package actually. The first I will not discuss is the basic package GL, and GL Plus is the next. We have something that my wife really liked, is heating with low and high mode on the front two seats. We have this nice button which really was one of the reasons to buy this car. We have auto mode, which is really good in snow or off-road, but we also have snow mode, have snow plus lock when we walk the central differential, and we have sport mode, which really helps the car turn very well on a curvy road when sporting driving. It also increases the throttle response on a curvy road. So pretty nice extras in a 22,000 euro car. You can see we have multimedia. It's still a good multimedia. We can connect our phone. I also used Android Connect to connect it. We have we can connect smartphone, of course. Here is the USB port. We can listen to some music. Here you can see the devices. We have radio, different modes, and we have voice control and some other options here. So it's pretty nice. We have everything actually we need in these modern days. We have a nice board computer which shows some things to us, total saved, some nice clock, motion. I don't know why we need this, it's just for fun. Is the G-force, this one showing how much power do we use, how much torque. This is a graph of acceleration and braking, average fuel economy, range, and other stuff. Okay, we also have trip computer, current trip, A, B. We have outside temperature. We have the coolant level, temperature gauge, and actually it's that. This is a manual, 6-speed manual. We have normal seats, not a leather one, but my wife doesn't like leather one because in the summer it's really awful to have a leather seats. And in the back we're currently having some dock, so that's why you see this. It's spacey enough for the head, no problems with the taller people. It has adjustable seat belts, which is really nice. I really like this option. You have some white here. So that's about inside the car. So inside the car, the things I don't like, I already told you. One of it is the plastic. The steering wheel is good. They can also add here some more sporty feelings, but overall it's nice. The interior, you are sitting, the seats are pretty comfortable. They have some supports here, and Allgrip is nice, like a Quattro. These are very handy because you can actually, they look really cheap like Dacia, but actually they're really good because you can literally get the flow to everywhere you want really easily. In the next Geo X you have here some clock in order to be more prestige. The thing I like very much is the heating. It's very good. Actually, you don't need to push it like this. This is pretty enough to, on 24 degrees in any time, you get really fast hot inside the car. The air condition is really good, really cools down very fast. The things I don't like, well, the fuel tank of these new cars is really small. Actually, this one has around 45 liter, 44 liter, 45 liter, something like that, which is really small tank for that car. But they do it like this. The car is really light. It weighs about 1.3, 1.4 tons, maybe less, and that's one of the things that actually make it good, because you don't need so powerful engine when you have a wide car. The brakes also work better when you have wide car. The suspension on the curvy road sport is really good when you have wide car. So Suzuki have made a wide car, but this actually costs the comfort, because above 140 you hear the wind. Of course, it's not like in Duster, but you hear it, and at 160 is already hearing very much the wind inside the car. It's still good, but it's not like it should be, like it's on premium cars. They have to work on this too. I'll now show you the trunk. Let's take the key. The trunk is pretty nice. Standard, they don't give you a real size spare tire, but we ordered because I cannot imagine myself somewhere in the mountain far away without a full size spare tire. So that's why we bought such. Okay, you can see there is a place for a full size spare tire. Of course, if you don't buy it additionally, it cost me around 100 euro maybe. I don't remember exactly. But if you don't, 150 euro I think. If you don't order it, you have little bit more trunk space, because actually this cover goes little bit more down, so have more space in the back. You can see here it's not too much. My Audi A3 has a better trunk, so it's not really good, not really good size. It's somewhere in the middle, I can say, for its segment. And it has foldable rear seats, which is really good. And the trunk, the boot space actually gets better and that's how I often transport things, with seats folded. Okay, after I showed you inside, outside, I'll talk some more about my experience with the car so far. I told you already 26,000 kilometers, and the things I like about the car I'll summarize in several sentences. So I like that it's a low level entry car, but you have really good extras and you have a very good overall outside design. Actually, the car looks very good for its price. Actually, it's cheap car, but it looks better, it looks good. Something else I like the driving. I like that it's 1.4 liter 140 horsepower, which in today's standard is not too much, but for a cheap car again it's a good power for money. So I have petrol engine, Boosterjet, which I can say is a great engine. It is chain driven also, it has direct injection of the fuel, but I have to say that the engine is pretty restricted because of the emissions. If you put it a rem up, it can go to 170 horsepower and be really much better, because you remove the turbo whack. Now the car has a turbo whack below 2500 rpm. It actually has a big turbo lag, and it actually starts going really after 3000 up to maybe 5000. After that is dead again, and that short range can be extended by a remapping and if you don't care about the emissions. And if you do so, 170 horsepower and increased range of power and torque will actually give you a great car. I'm sure that this engine is a great in 170 horsepower in this chassis, which is not heavy, and that's very also one of the reasons that the car is really wide. And by being a wider 140 horsepower with the price for this package of 22,000 euro, it's really a great deal, I think. Other things I like is the sport mode. That's another thing that really gets me when I bought it, because it has it's a low level entry car, but it has the people from Suzuki have think of people who wants to drive sporty, who want to use it like a sporty car on a track or on some curvy road, to have some joy with it. And this sporty mode really works. It really works on the differential, it really works on the throttle response, so you really get somehow a little part of a sporty car inside this city SUV. Okay, so the engine is good, I like it, it has potential. I have not remapped it until now because your warranty will be voided. It has 7 years warranty here, and in some countries it's different, but 7 years, that's great. It's on specific parts, of course, it's not on the suspension, because you can go off-road, you can destroy the clutch in 1 week, so they cannot give you warranty on these parts. But overall on the engine, on the whole car, you have a good warranty. That's another thing I liked it very much. So the other things is the extras. I already showed you. You get a really good extras for a low level. The top speed of that car is 210 kilometers, which is really good for a SUV for 22,000 euro. And this car starts from around 15,000 euro in a low level entry, so really a great deal. I don't think 1 liter is a good engine, because it's a 3-cylinder turbo engine and it will be too small for that car. Maybe if the car was 1 ton it would be okay, but not for that weight. Okay, the 4x4 system is another thing that I like in this car. Allgrip system is very good. You can watch other videos when you can see on rollers tests that it can actually transport torque to almost all of the wheels, and this will really help you in bad situation, in some mud or snow or bad off-road when you go. Of course, nobody will buy such car except it's really wealthy. Nobody will buy this car and go directly to off-road it in the forest, in a bad moody roads, to put some stress on it, because everyone will keep it as clean and as new as possible for the first years. That's how people psychology often works. So I like the engine, I like the extras, I like the price, I like the overall look and the overall idea of how this car is made. The potential of the turbo engine, which is not too small, not too big, and it has some decent fuel economy. Of course, it's a petrol and it doesn't have the best fuel economy when driving with higher speeds, and because of the SUV aerodynamics, it also suffers. After all, you can have fuel economy if you drive with 120 kilometers. You got some fuel economy, but in the city it's not very fuel economy, because it's got 9 to 11 in the city. Even if my wife is driving, it's also, so it's not an aggressive driving, but it still got high numbers in the city, and that's something I don't like. In the city the fuel consumption is too high for that car. I'll tell you now the things that I really hate. One of the things I don't like is the brakes. The brakes are good, don't get me wrong, they stop okay, but if you use them much frequently in a curvy road, on some downhill, they get burned really hot, they get burned really fast, and you can smell them, you can see them smoking. I've done this several times, and it's really this moment is really going too fast. I've driven my other older cars, BMWs, Audis, and none of them, actually I have never done this to my brakes. And this car is not heavy at all, so I don't think that the brakes are good enough on this car. They can be better, at least they can be little bit bigger and little bit better material, so that you don't get your brakes burned so fast. I don't know why the new cars made them like this, but it's because they are cheaper materials using. So this is the one thing I don't like. The other thing is this connection between the steering and the wheels. It's not always, but you don't feel like in Audis and in BMWs, you don't feel the steering wheel the same way. You don't feel the where exactly and what angle the wheel is making at the turn, and especially if there are some curves on the road, some holes, you completely lose. It's like you have broken the link between the wheel and the wheels and the front wheels, and that's something I don't like about it. They can do better, I think, in this direction. The other thing is I don't like is the comfort. The comfort inside is really bad. I have driven on this road with my Citroen ZX, and actually in my 30 years old car it feels more comfortable than this Suzuki Vitara. I know it's an SUV, I know it should be sporty and it should be good on the curvy roads too, but actually they made it stiff and not comfort. The car is bumping, really sitting on the back is not very comfortable. Duster is more comfortable, but it's bad on the corners. Of course, everything has a price, but I think from the engineering part it can be improved to have really a better ride. So because the ride is not good on that car at all, I don't like the ride. Of course, if I'm driving sporty, I don't care, and it's good. Of course, the body roll, there is some body roll because it's higher, placed higher, and there is some body roll. There is weight transportation between left and right part of the car. It's not too much, but there still can be put some strut bars or anything to improve that car. So we have to do more with the comfort and a little bit more with the handling and with the driving experience behind the wheel. I already told you this connection between the wheels and the steering wheel. I also watched before I bought it, actually wrote some article in which Jeremy Clarkson actually said that this car has such problem with the disconnection between the steering wheel and the wheels, and actually he's right that this car has such problem. Another thing is the turbo lag. I don't like it, but that's because of the emissions and can be fixable with the remap, so I'll not talk about this. Otherwise it's pretty nice. Of course, there is no much sound of the engine because of the restriction, but it's still sporty when in high revs. It's really cheap to maintain because changing the oil costs somewhere around 150 euro, really cheap. For a 140 horsepower engine we get really cheap price for owning it. And that's it, guys. That's my experience from that car. I also drive it off-road. It's good off-road, but because of the lack of comfort, the passengers doesn't feel good off-roading because they don't feel good inside a coupe. They don't feel good inside in their seats because it's too bumpy inside. And the other thing also which prevents for good off-roading is that on the uphills, on some road with stones, it's very bumpy, and you try little by little going uphill, and actually the suspension is stiff. The clutch really fast also burns when using it on a middle position. Actually, it really burns the clutch. That's also one thing I don't like, actually, because the clutch is not really strong, and off-road you can really destroy your clutch on some bad roads uphill. Otherwise, except for this stiff ride, it actually got a good 4x4 system. It's maybe better than most of the 4x4 systems nowadays, and it has some different modes in snow, lock, but I found out that the auto mode is pretty good enough, and it actually is so little difference in some situation that you almost will not notice them in the normal off-road driving somewhere, except it's extremely conditions that this snow mode and snow plus lock modes can really help you get out of this situation. So it's a good 4x4 system, but the comfort is not so good that you can drive freely off-road inside, and you have to keep lower speeds because too bumpy is not good for the car. It's not good for you inside, not feeling comfortable, and you are feeling that you're destroying the whole car by having so bumpy ride. So guys, thank you for watching. I share you my feedback, and we'll see you again in my next video. Thank you for now. Watch other videos and subscribe, guys. Stay healthy and bye.